Ashton Jeanty, should the Bengals be in? We'll talk about this coming up next on New Stripe City. Look, bro, before we even get into the video, my answer is yes. Yes. Yes, I would do it. Ashton Jeanty is the best running back in this draft. He's one of the best prospects in this draft. Let's just start there. So you're talking about a talent, especially if he gets past the Raiders, the Cowboys, someone who could be available possibly at 17. Now, we don't know how other teams value the running back position. We know how teams value the quarterback position. We know how teams are going to value the edge rusher position. It's a bad cornerback class. However, Ashton Jeanty is one of the elite players in this draft. You got Travis Hunter, you got Abdul Carter, and then you could say it's Ashton Jeanty. Some people even have him over some of these guys. Now, I know what you're probably saying. Ace, we do not run the ball. I've even been a proponent of saying we do not run the ball. It's not something that we do. That is true. However, I think the aspect of improving the run game, you also have to improve the talent that's there. Chase Brown was amazing. I think Chase Brown was an adequate replacement last year for Joe Mixon. However, the Bengals were still missing something. They didn't have anything from Zach Moss, who really was supposed to be the Joe Mixon replacement. They really didn't get anything from him. From the Bengals run game, they have not been able to get anything from it. And the issue is, a lot of people are like, oh, they're not going to give them 20 carries and stuff like that. That's the thing about Jeanty. He doesn't need 20 carries a game, right? In this offense, he is a guy that really at Boise State really made a lot out of a little bit of carries. I mean, that's one of the things that made him so great at Boise State was the fact that his yards per carry average was crazy. Now, bring it back. Chase Brown. I get it. The other issue I had with Chase Brown last year is he's not durable enough to be the only running back in the system. I think he's great when he's there. I think he could be RB1. But when you have the ability to possibly pair him with a guy like Jeanty in an offense with T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Mike Gesicki, you want to make this offense unstoppable that already was number one in the passing attack, you got to improve the running attack. I mean, we've seen that this season with the Saquon Barkley, with some of these things happening, Derrick Henry going to another team. These are things that can help the Bengals win games. Running the football. Why? Because they can wear the clock out. They can get some kind of gas for their defense, which their defense, let's just keep it a buck. The defense is going to be what it is this season. It's not going to be the strong point of the team. And getting a running back that could help that defense rest is going to help them. Getting a tandem like Chase Brown and Jeanty together would be unstoppable. It'd be unstoppable. I'm just going to be honest with you. It would be unstoppable. I don't think anyone would be able to stop the Bengals if this were the case. And I think that he is the best player available. Now, I know people are going to say, hey, we got to get an edge rusher. We got to get a guard. Ashton Jeanty being available in a defensive draft where you're going to be able to get edge rushers in the second round, defensive tackles in the second, third round. I'm rolling the dice, bro. I'm rolling the dice and I'm going with Jeanty because this is a guy that is unlike anything that we've seen thus far. And, some people may say that, he's not as good as Bijan. When you look at some of the draft profiles out there, they have this guy as being comparable to some people. I'm not saying everybody. Some people have him as being as comparable to LaDainian Tomlinson. And I think that he's also a guy that instantly impacts your offense. You're immediately getting that return. You're not Miles Murphy in your situation. You're not Dax Hill in your situation where you're waiting a couple years to really get some kind of return on that. We're talking about a guy that's an elite prospect that is going to be able to share the load with Chase Brown. Why wouldn't you want to do that? I mean, to me, I just don't know how anybody would be able to stop this offense with that. If you're talking about the best four in the NFL right now is Jalen Hurts, Devonta Smith, A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley. I think the best trio is the Bengals. And if you add Ashton Jeanty to that, I think you could argue that the Bengals may have, from a talent perspective, the best quad in the NFL. Now, obviously, Saquon Barkley is Saquon Barkley, and we're not here to just say Ashton Jeanty is going to get to the NFL and do his thing. But, bruh, in this offense, with the lanes that he would be able to get, with what he would be able to see from that perspective, you got to believe that Ashton Jeanty would be the best pick at 17 if he's available. I mean, it doesn't get any more, you don't get any more value than that. That would be a home run for the Bengals. That would be a situation where the Bengals wouldn't have to worry about running backs for the next 3, 4, 5 seasons. Right now, we're still looking for a guy to pair with Chase Brown. You don't have to worry about, can Chase Brown stay healthy? You don't have to worry about that. Ashton Jeanty is a guy that could come in, be a superstar. They could split carries. They could do things to take this offense to a whole nother level. He's also able to be able to contribute in the passing game aspect of things. Like, Jeanty is a dog, bro. Jeanty is a dog. Like, if we're just looking at the comparisons right now. So let me look at Bijan Robinson and his grade for what he got. And let me look at what Jeanty got. All right. So we're going to Bijan Robinson's draft profile. I'm getting it pulled up here. All right. Now, let me throw some background music on. Let's get the vibes right real quick. How you guys doing? If you are here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Truly appreciate that. Let's get the vibes going here, man. Y'all know what time it is in the space. Let's go with the lo-fi. All right. Let's get these vibes right. All right. Now, let's take a look at the profile that they have on Bijan versus a guy like Ashton Jeanty. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and share this real quick. So just so you guys can see, I am not pulling this from anywhere other than NFL.com. All right. So as you can see, Bijan Robinson, prospect grade, year one starter, 6.84. He's considered elite. Production, he had the best. Athleticism, he was 5th. All right. So we can see that right now. This is where he's at, 6.84. Now stay with me. Where do you guys think the Ashton Jeanty is? Let me know in the comments right now. Where do you got? Do you think he is ahead of him or is he below him? All right, his comparison was Josh Jacobs. Now, follow me real quick. We're gonna now look at Ashton Jeanty's profile. All right, so right here. All right. Number 1 graded prospect in the entire draft, even over Abdul Carter. Right, you see that? 7.15. Did you see that? So if you're wondering, is he better than Bijan Robinson? As a prospect, and I say this as a prospect, they are looking at him as better. Now, production score is pretty close, 98, not 99. Athleticism is pretty similar. He's got 83 there. Total score, he's getting a 95. But the prospect grade is higher. It's a significant jump up than what it was for Bijan Robinson. This is not a guy that is going to always just be there. LaDainian Tomlinson. If you could take LT and put him on the Bengals, would you not do it? Would you not do it? Come on, bro. 7 point. Bro, he's in the 7s. He's in the 7s. Do you know, like, how crazy that is? All right, I don't think you guys know how crazy that is. All right, let me see. Let me do some quick research real quick. I want to see something. It may be a little far back, so I don't know if the grading scale was the same, but we're going to take a look. All right, yeah, here we go. This is who I wanted to see. Ezekiel Elliott, right? Think about Zeke coming out. Zeke was a major factor. He is not Zeke. Zeke has a 7.30. They gave him a perennial All-Pro, but he's close. He's closer to Zeke than he is Bijan Robinson. So just think about that. Think about it. Production is more. Athleticism is better from that perspective. But you're talking about a guy that's matching Zeke in terms of his status. So if you could take a guy like that, put him in with the Bengals offense, I'm just saying, bro. Like, the case makes it for itself. I've heard people say no running back at all. bro, Ashton Jeanty on the Bengals would make them the scariest offense in the NFL. And then you talk about him with Chase Brown. What kind of tandem? That's a top 5 tandem, maybe top 3. Maybe top 3 in the NFL. I'm just saying, like both of those guys together, and that's the thing. We've seen Chase Brown be able to be a complimentary back in that role. And I think, bro, for me, for more bang for my buck, if I'm at 17, Ashton Jeanty shouldn't have been there regardless. He probably won't be there, right? If he's as good as certain people think. But we've just seen what a run game can do to an offense with 2 receivers. You're talking about opening up this complete offense. You're talking about making things easier for Burrow. That's something that Jeanty can do. But with that said, let's take a look at what they're saying about Jeanty. So, LaDainian Tomlinson runs low to the ground with a wide base, good vision, trusts the play design, and won't come off track without reason. Picks up momentum and danger every step he takes. Creates yardage with a rare trio of wiggle, power, and speed. You need that in the AFC North. He had runs of 50-plus yards in 9 of his 14 games in 2024. I'm just saying, bro, he doesn't need 20 carries. He plays fast and maintains his pace through cuts and change of direction, and he creates magic with touchbacks as a zone runner. Now, the issues with him is that he's fumble prone once defenders start badgering the football. He might need to gear down a hair to allow blocks to develop. He has tight hips. His workload bordered on absurdity at 374 carries, including 279 in the final 9 games. Now, we know that he's not going to have to get that kind of workload with the Cincinnati Bengals. I think if you're bringing him in there, you're doing splits between him and Chase Brown, I think that it would be fine. I think if you get like 30, 35 a game, you give him 20, you give Chase 15, I'm good with that. If they don't do that, it could be something like 15 and 15. It could be a 15 and 10. I just think that you're going to get more out of that than you will with your run game now. You know, Samaje Perine is nice. That's cool, but let's just keep it a buck. Ashton Jeanty in this offense would catapult the Bengals to the top and keep them there for a while. I'm talking about having Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Ashton Jeanty for 5 years. 5. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5. Having that quad for 5 years. Bro, go back to the Super Bowl year. Let's not act like Joe Mixon wasn't like that the Super Bowl year. All right, so let's go back. Joe Mixon, Super Bowl year, 292 attempts, 1,200 rushing yards, 13 touchdowns. And that's not even talking about what he did from scrimmage, because I believe from scrimmage he had even more, so let's look at that. Mixon had 314 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. Mixon went crazy. He had 16 touchdowns that season. He was a Pro Bowl player. A lot of people forget that part of the Bengals offense. Like Joe Mixon went crazy as a part of that. And if you're talking about adding in younger running backs, they would be the best tandem in the NFL at a young age. I think that they really would. I honestly believe that. And so if he's there, I think you got to sprint up to the podium and turn in the pick. I don't even think it's a question. I just think, honestly, like that's just what it is. And that's what the Bengals need to make happen. You guys let me know in the comments what you think should happen. I'm for Jeanty. I'm Team Jeanty. I was talking to Jamar Chase's dad. He's Team Jeanty. I think I saw Goodberry say that he would be Team Jeanty as well. My guy Eric from the Cincinnati podcast on the Bengals post, he's Team Jeanty as well. Let me know if y'all are Team Jeanty in the comments, bro. I just think, to me, I get it. Edge rusher, defensive tackle, guard. But if Jeanty is there, bro, you talking about possible. They throw the word generational around. I don't think Ashton Jeanty's come around. You guys just saw that he was rated higher than Bijan Robinson, and people thought that he was a special running back. So you're talking about a guy that is one of the highest rated running backs since Ezekiel Elliott. Those don't come around too often. So you could potentially say this guy is a generational running back. I don't think you would have any issue saying that. But Will the Bengals take him? I think, bro, I think if he's there, you have got to consider it. I am tired of talking about the run game. I am tired of the Bengals finishing 32nd, 31st, 30, 29. Like, this move would immediately move them up, I think, at least to 18th, 19th. Immediately adds balance to the offense, makes them unstoppable, gives them the ability to call all kind of things at that situation. But you guys let me know. I'm Ace Boogie. Appreciate you guys for tapping in with me. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Let me know you guys' thoughts in the comments. I'm out.